Okay, this is Harold's Prog Rock Show Part 13, entirely dedicated to the famous prog rock band Saga from Canada. It all started in 1978 with the first album. On the first album we have on keyboard Peter Rochon. On this album we have Humble Stance. That's a famous track from the first album. A very good album, a classic from Saga. Then we go to the second album, Images at Twilight, also a classic. And on this album we have on keyboards Peter Rochon. The Canadian band is going very well on this album. We have also on this album Chapter 3, It's Time, and Chapter 1, Images. On all albums are chapters. And also on the first one. So this is Images at Twilight, the second album. Then we have a special one, that's the Phase 1 album, named after the studio from Saga. And on this album we have 4 tracks which are not on other Saga albums. Then we have Silent Night. Silent Night, in my opinion, is the best Saga album ever made. On this album we have the classic Don't Be Late, and on this album we have on keyboard Jim Gilmer, on guitar Ian Crichton, on bass his brother Jim Crichton, on vocals and keyboards Mike Sattler, and on drums Steve Negus. The lead keyboards are done by Jim Gilmer. Silent Night, a great album from 1980, and the tracks on this album are Don't Be Late, Chapter 2, What's It Gonna Be, Time to Go, Compromise, Too Much to Lose, Chapter 7, Help Me Out, Someone Should, and Careful Where You Step. A classic from Saga, Silent Night. Very good, highly recommended. Then we go to the fourth album, Worlds Apart. This is the European sleeve. There's also an American sleeve. I will show that you in a minute. On this album, also a classic from Saga, the fourth album, is On the Loose, Time's Up, Wind Him Up, Amnesia, Framed, The Interview, No Regrets, Chapter 5, Conversations, and Chapter 8, No Stranger. A very good album, a real classic. Then we have the same album again, Worlds Apart, with the American sleeve. Okay, then we have a live album. It's called In Transit, and it's the Worlds Apart World Tour. In Transit, a good album. Then we have Heads or Tails, also a good album. And on this album we have Scratching the Surface. And on Scratching the Surface we have lead vocals by keyboard player Jim Gilmer. Scratching the Surface is always in the live set, also nowadays, and it's a really emotional, great track. Then we go to Behavior from 1985, also a really good one. I like it a lot. On this album we have Take a Chance, What Do I Know, You and the Night, Out of the Shadows, and among others, Here I Am, and Goodbye Once Upon a Time. Behavior from 1985. A good album. I can recommend this album. Then we go to The Beginner's Guide to Throwing Shapes. The last album in the 80s. Reasonable one. Then we go to The Security of Illusion. It's not one of my favorites, but it's reasonable. Then we go to Generation 13. This is a real classic. It's very good. All songs are good. It's a concept album, and yes, it's a concept album. It's on the Polydor label, and it's from 1995. It's a real classic. Generation 13. All songs are good. I can recommend this one, this concept album. Then we have a live album, a double disc, The Tour. Good one. Then we have a comeback album. That's the Full Circle album. And that's really good. Also, again, the chapters are back. So we have 2 chapters on this album. Then we have House of Cards, also a good one. Marathon, reasonable album. Then we have the Network album. On this album we have, even kijken, Believe. Believe is really a good song, emotional. And we have Don't Make a Sound. It's also a great song by Saga, the Canadian band. And then we have a double disc live, the chapters, all chapters from all albums on a double live disc. I can recommend this one. Then we have Trust. Trust is also a good album. The title track Trust is with a lot of positive power. Then we have 10,000 Days, and a good one. And then we have the 20th Saga album is 2020. The title of the album is 2020. And on this album we have Anywhere You Wanna Go. Anywhere You Wanna Go is in my top 10 of Saga songs. It's really outstanding. I really like Anywhere You Go. The rest of the album is also good. I can recommend this 2020 album. Then we have the last studio album from Saga, that is Saga City, and it's also a really great album, reasonable. Okay, then we go to my vinyl collection. The first one, simply titled Saga. The second one, Images at Twilight. On the Polydor label. Then we have the best Saga album ever made, Silent Night. Also on the Polydor label. I'll show you the back with the live pictures. And we have the European version of Worlds Apart, the 4th album, a real classic. Then we have the American sleeve with the sunglasses from the Woman. Then the live album, In Transit, a really good one. Then we have Heads or Tails, also good, with Scratching the Surface, Heads or Tails. And the inner sleeve of Heads or Tails I will show you. The guys in the band. In the middle we have Mike Sadler, the vocalist, lead vocals. We have Steve Negus, the drummer. Then we have Jim Gilmer on keyboards. And the brothers, Jim Crichton on bass. And with the red shirt we have Ian Crichton on guitar. Okay, that's a classic lineup from Saga. Then we have the Behavior album. That's from 1985. It's a really good one. I like it a lot. Behavior album. That was my vinyl collection. Then we go to the DVDs. I have 2 DVDs. This is Silhouette with the music videos and a live show. An old live show. Yes? Okay. Then we have Worlds Apart Revisited. It's recorded in 2005 in Switzerland, and Worlds Apart, the famous album, is played in its entirety. This is really good DVD. I can recommend this one. It's top notch, and the band is playing with lots of power, lots of fire. They are going very well on this live show in Switzerland. Okay, that was my show about Saga, the band from Canada, the famous prog prog rock band. They are still playing live. I will see them live in November in the Netherlands. I've seen them 4 times before. So I really like them. I can recommend them if you don't know them. Okay, this was my show about Saga, the famous prog rock band. See you later. See you next time. Bye. I hope you liked the show.